Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Play My Music podcast. I am your host, Mark Reddick, and we're about to kick off another wonderful show today. So, today I have these gentlemen, G.E. Moore with Rich Kern. They got some wonderful music that we're about to listen to. Let's show them some love. Okay. Glad you guys sit in today. We're going to slow it down a little bit.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Yes. It's my pleasure. Okay, so you guys tell me, how'd you get started? Obviously, you're working together as a team, so I don't know who wants to go first, but
Yeah, yeah, sure thing. Let them know what's happening, Rich.
All right. So Gary and I are both writers. We've both done a little spoken word, and there was this event called Art Speaks that was at Uncommon Ground. It was in February of this year, I believe. And we were both invited to perform an original work at that. And then, partially by chance, we sat at the same table. But then afterwards, I really liked Gary's piece, so I approached him afterwards. I said, "Hey, if you're looking to maybe add another dimension to this, add some music to it, I do some of that, and I think we might be a good match here." So I kind of proposed it to Gary, and he was on board.
cool.
Yeah, simple.
Yeah,
That's about right, Gary.
that was about right. Yeah,
Okay.
just by chance, we ran across each other at the same event. Like you said, just by chance, we were sitting at the
How
same
long
table.
ago was that?
This was this past February.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so you guys are pretty
Yeah,
new to
everything
working
for
with each
us,
other.
it kind of kicked off pretty quickly.
Hmm.
You know, um, just while we were at the event, while we were able to sit down and talk with each other during the course of the event and listening to each other present our pieces,
Hmm.
we were able to click and we had a pretty congenial time while we were sitting there at the table. So, it was a natural progression from there.
Okay. Cool.
I think
So,
we related together as dads too, in addition to
mhm.
writers.
So who are the musicians here? You both play instruments?
No,
Yeah.
I am the only musician. So the works that we have for you today are all part of a one concept album featuring Gary S.G.E. Moore as the all of the words in the vocal performance. Everything else is composed and produced by me, so I'm all the music.
Got you. Okay. So good teamwork. All
Yeah.
right. So that's a nice segue into the music that you guys sent. So we're gonna get right into it.
Cool.
All right.
The first song up is Chicago. So I guess
Chicago
because you
is.
guys are from Chicago, has a little bit to do with the title, but I'll let you explain how you came up with that.
All right. You want to hear it now? Or you going to play the song now?
I want to hear your explanation, and then I'm gonna play the song. How'd you
Okay.
come up
All
with it?
right.
Yeah.
The title is Chicago Is, and it written from my perspective is just basically an homage to the city. Um, I wanted to create something that kind of gave you that that New York feel, but I wanted to focus on Chicago, and I wanted to speak on some hyper local themes. And so Chicagoans, when they hear some of these things, when they hear references to the hot chips and cheese and these are local uh, ideals, ideologies that I wanted to infuse in it. I wanted to make it a really local, celebratory piece.
Got you. All right.
Yeah, and then in interpreting that into music, I kind of pictured this like, you know how sometimes in movies they do this fast forward scene where there's all this activity in like a downtown city
Right.
area, and
Hmm.
it goes from day to night. The sun sweeps by. I kind of like imagine that in my head. So this one has like a bit of a fast, funky bass line,
Okay.
some quick staccato. It has a very funky feel. Um, oops. And then as we were kind of spitballing ideas for it, Gary encouraged me to make it have more soul, right? Make it, and so it was like something initially didn't feel like Chicago enough. So that's when we added the blues harmonica, and to kind of like relearn harmonica for this, which is harder than it sounds if you're not regularly practicing that. But he sent me some videos of like Sonny Boy Williamson and Big Mama Thornton to kind of get the like Chicago harmonica feel.
Gotcha.
So yeah.
All right. Let's check it out. We're gonna play for everyone.
Sure.
Chicago. Here we go.
Chicago is hip hop and jazz and heavy metal and pop up on the North Shore and in the corner stores, hot chips and cheese and beef and Maxwell Street. It is segregation and poverty and potential and possibilities. Chicago is sleepless nights and gang fights and the stick-up kids combing the block, looking to rob their neighbors to feed their needs, or just to chase clout. Chicago is busy streets, playing for keeps and long cold nights when the children weep and lose sleep to hear their mama's favorite song played on repeat. Chicago is cold politics and dirty tricks and red line communities and red lines and blues and pinks and things and constant danger on the CTA and L trains that ride and clatter and slide through the streets all day. Chicago is sweet and hot jardinera and extra mild sauce on everything. It was also the last stop along the road of the Great Migration that brought black folk up out of the South, alongside a wave of immigrants from Eastern European destinations and South Americans all come together to forge a nation. It is a trendsetter, a city full of go-getters and better food and fun and fashion than any other city, state, or place. Chicago is its own best thing. A city that simply loves to dream.
Yeah, I like that. That was pretty hot. Um, I never heard a song like that before, and I was able to envision Chicago. You know
Yeah.
what I know of it, I like that. That was very creative. All right, fellas, doing your thing.
Yeah.
Okay, next up, I used to be a superhero. Who wants to talk about that first?
Well, this is probably one of my older pieces.
Can
I
you get
wrote this.
closer to the mic?
Can you hear me?
Your voice is a little low.
Let me see. Maybe
Okay, can you hear me
Yeah,
better?
that's good.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. I used to be a superhero was written. It's one of my the first poetry, one of the first pieces that I ever had published
Hmm.
many years ago. I'm not going to age myself too much, but uh, it's just a callback, a memory. And we talked about my influences as I was growing up, positively what affected me, what stuck with me culturally. So, I used to be a superhero. It's like that shout out. It makes me think of my dad and those strong men who were in my life when I was growing up.
Hmm. Cool. Rich, anything you want to add to that?
Yeah. So for this one, some neat things going on in the music are it actually doesn't have a bass guitar. There's like a cello part filling in that. You'll hear some distorted drums, just kind of like really driving the beat, and pay attention to the piano and the bridge. So kind of has an allusion to Muhammad Ali in and of itself in the music. I tried to do that. We'll see how well I succeeded. I'll do you here too.
Oh, just smoke, please. Hey, Mom, one more podcast.
It's real.
Okay, great. I used to be a superhero. Let's check that out.
I used to be a superhero. Or at least I'd pretend to be. You know, the kind in tights and real cool shades and a big cape that rippled and flowed around my body. I was hard as stone and immovable. Looking out from atop the Citizens Bank building, staring wistfully like the seldom seen hawks that used to frequent this place. I'd searched the city below, my city, for crimes against the poor folk that I knew would find no help in Superman or Batman hell. Even the Black Panther seemed to be too busy saving the universe to save the victims of my old King's Orchard neighborhood. Or a good friend, shot dead long ago on an unseasonably cold April Fool's Day. I looked quite a bit like Dr. J. With a real big afro and some badass Chuck Taylors on to match my cape. I wore red boxing trunks and floated like a delicately winged insect, alight on a gentle breeze. And yet my powerful blows, made mighty in justice's name, rang out and stung like some deadly and angry barbed beast. I dreamed of superpower and salvation as a child, and searched as I grew to become a man for the means to be a superhero.
Nice. I used to be a superhero.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Cool, man. You guys are very creative with this.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. We're moving along. You sent us another one, guys, called The Vanishing Man. Let's talk about that. What's that about?
All right. The Vanishing Man. It discusses. It dives into like themes of life, how temporary this existence is.
Mm-hmm.
Just how easily we can transition from one state to another. It's just my examination, my middle age musings regarding how temporary this life is,
Mm-hmm.
and how fleeting this thing can be.
Okay.
Yeah, and what I got from the words was it felt like it was one part like urban legend ghost story and one part like commentary on the failure of society to recognize the individual. That's what I got from it personally. So one of the things I did here in this one is I borrowed the chord progression from St. James Infirmary, thinking that it's kind of in our zeitgeist as like a moving, complicated emotion tune. So you're gonna hear. My favorite part is this moment where the upright bass and the strings all kind of kick in. It's like the narrator has made some sort of decision right at that moment about whether to venture out or not. It seems that's my interpretation of it as a musician.
Okay. All right. Let's let everyone hear the Vanishing Man. Here we go.
I could disappear right now. Gone. Vanished. Like some mysterious inscription left behind by a nameless artist. Or random notification for a single mother grieving the loss of her only son. Gone before anyone could explain how such a tragedy could happen. While the whole world was watching. I left a movie premiere. A screening for independent filmmakers, high off of the filmmaker special I drank and from the engagement. When my mans and them said to me as I headed to the door, "Watch out, dude. There's a serial killer loose on the North Shore, targeting revelers and leaving them floating in the Chicago River." I laughed. You can't be serious. He's luring drunken sailors and citizens into a Petno van, he explained. I ain't joking. Left me messed up. All over again. You can't be serious. But yes, I am. You see how easy it would be? I could vanish right now. Fade away into nothing and find that there was no one left to mourn a life cut short and minimized by social standards and the concerns of capitalism, which reduces my worth down to a material abstraction, a plea. We scream, snatched up and blown away meant to be long when measured against the age of the mountains, but is it really meant to be such a fleeting thing? Uncelebrated? Tossed aside with no mention in the media, and a family left behind, begging to fill out a missing persons report, or at least to get a well-armed police force to conduct a welfare check instead of another traffic stop. Initiated for the sake of an expired license plate? I could easily disappear. Gone. Vanished. My memory and my history erased. Replaced with an alternate retelling of a life lived long along the margins. Revolving round and round in an elliptical orbit until I spin round and disappear on the far side of the sun. Gone.
And that was hot. That was hot.
That's probably
Um,
one of my favorite productions as far as how we came together. So that, yeah, I'm really proud of
yeah,
that one.
you really took your time with this piece.
Yeah.
You know, I like the spacing and the continuation of what you had to say, and you did that throughout the whole song. I just, it really made me pay attention to what you were saying, and the music, woo, the drum
Yeah.
work, the
Mhm.
the and the other elements. Um, I don't know if that was synth bass or what you were using
Yeah.
there,
Yeah.
and some other things behind that. The whole piece is just it's fire.
Yeah. If you got a good
So
stereo system, that one hits pretty hard, especially at that
yeah,
drop when the upright bass comes in. You can really
yeah.
feel it in your chest.
This is very well produced and very well put
Thank you.
together. It's definitely one for the books. I like this one. So,
All right.
Vanishing Man. You guys did your thing on that.
Thank
Mhm.
you.
All right. Well, before you go, could you please inform everyone where they can find your music, what digital platforms they are available?
All right. You can find me and my work. You can find links to my my writing. I just dropped a debut novel this past summer.
Okay.
I've got some poetry, book of short stories, and some of my artwork and more at my website. That's gemore.thewriter.com. You can find links to my social medias and all that stuff on there.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah,
How
and
about
I'm
you,
out at therichkern.com. The is important. The Rich Kern.
Okay.
It links to other music projects, some of my writing, socials as well.
Cool. Well, let me also say that you guys are welcome to come back. I apologize for the hiccups
Ah,
earlier today,
It happens.
but thanks for being patient and hanging with me. Um, you guys are welcome to come back. You have some more music. Just just make another appointment, and we'd be glad to sit in and you guys come back as much as you want.
All right, very cool,
So,
man.
appreciate that.
okay, so I enjoyed having you guys here. You very talented gentlemen, and I look forward to you guys coming back.
All right, man. Thanks again.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
all
it was
right.
great. It was a lot of fun.
Good day. Sir.
Nice
Blessings.
meeting you guys. And
Yeah.
something you want to say, Rich?
Oh, I was just saying it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was. It
Thanks
was.
for having us.
It was. Despite the hiccups, it was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
All right. So I look to hear from both of you real soon.
All right, my man. Peace.
All right. Take care.
Yeah.
Peace.
Take it easy.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's G.E. Moore and Rich Kern. We want you guys to go out and support their music. Go to their websites, all that good stuff. Please do not stream their music. I need you guys to download their music. Purchase it. Okay? Artists put a lot of work into what they're doing, and we don't, as artists, win when you're streaming. Uh, so please, let's support them. Okay, and I think that's it. Um, if any of you would like to have your work, your songs heard here, please send us an inquiry at playmymusic711 at gmail.com. That's playmymusic711 at gmail.com. All right, that's it for today, folks. So until next time, God bless you all. Peace.